Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be making this lovely hamburger soap, and it's got 8 steps and it's family friendly because we're using melt and pour. So you will need the following items here. Don't worry if you don't have exactly everything, you can improvise. Step 1 is making the bun. So what I'm going to do is I've got a block of sheer melt and pour soap, and I'm just cutting it up into smaller parts, and I'm going to put it into the microwave and melt it down, and then I'm going to add some brown mica powder for the colour. And then I am adding some of this fresh bread scent. It smells exactly like fresh bread, it's actually kind of strange. So I'm now going to pour it in this spherical mold. And spray the top with a bit of alcohol to get rid of the bubbles that form. And just set aside to dry. So step 2 is making the tomato. So for this I am using clear melt and pour soap. So the same as before, I just get a small block and I chop it up into small sections and melt. And this time I'm adding red mica powder. Just give it a good stirring. And I'm getting a bit of cling film to pour onto, so I'm just trying to make sure that it's nice and flat surface so it doesn't leave impressions into the soap. And then when it's dry, I just cut out little circles with it. And then to make them look more like a tomato, I use just the tip of a knife and I'm cutting little triangles in to create the sections of a tomato slice. And my knife skills are not that great, so please be forgiving. And now that they're all cut out, I'm getting a little bit more of the clear melt and pour soap, cutting it up into sections and melting in the microwave again. And this time I'm adding just a small dash of red mica, so it's still going to appear mostly transparent, but just with a slight tinge to red, like how you would imagine the pulp of a tomato to look. That's what I'm trying to recreate here. And I actually let the soap get too hard before I finished pouring it out, so I just gave it another quick blast in the microwave, and now it's ready to pour again. And then I leave it to dry after I've sprayed it with some alcohol to pop any bubbles, and then I just peel it off the cling film. Just cutting any excess soap away. So the next step is to make the lettuce. So again, I'm using a little bit of the clear melt and pour soap, chopping it into sections again, blasting it in the microwave, and I'm adding a bit of green mica this time, and I'm going for kind of an iceberg lettuce look. so it's a really bright, vibrant, light green. I'm putting some cling film down, it's the same as I did for the tomatoes. And just pouring it directly onto it. Once it's dry, I use a circular cutter just to get a nice circle out, and then I use the tip of my knife just to make the edges all ruffled, like how a lettuce looks. Now to give it a bit more detail, with a little bit of the green mica, I just add a drop of alcohol to it, and then it becomes more of a paint-like consistency. And I'm just painting on some details, some leaf veins, just to give it more character. And there's my leaf of lettuce. So next we're going to be making a slice of cheese. For this I am using some sheer mountain pour, and I'm adding some yellow mica. I'm using sheer for this one just because I want the colour to look more pastel rather than bright, and we're going for a slice of cheese that you might see in a McDonald's or Burger King burger. So that really processed square cheese. I'm just cutting a neat square. And we have a slice of cheese. So next what I'll be making is the patty. And I'm using a block of clear melt and pour for this. And I'm adding brown mica. It's the same colour as the one I used in the bun, except because this is going into clear mica, it appears to be darker. So now that the bun I previously made has dried, I'm just going to be chopping this in half so it becomes the top and the bottom of our burger bun. And I'm going to be adding some details. So again, I'm just adding a bit of alcohol to white mica. I'm just painting little dashes like white sesame seeds onto it. Just adds a bit of shine and highlight to this top as well. So now I'm using a toothpick just to engrave a couple of dashes into the top, and this will give it some texture. It will also make it look like some darker seeds, so the idea is to have a mixture of fresh and toasted sesame seeds on top of the bun. And now I'm just brushing the top roughly with some dry mica in the brown colour. So continuing with the patty, what I'm doing now is it hasn't fully dried. Unlike the burger bun, this is still a little bit warm and malleable, and it allows me to squish it down, and it behaves then like a burger patty. Similar process as if you were actually cooking one. You just sort of shape it and give it a little bit of a squash. When you're happy with the shape, set it aside. And now the fun part, we get to assemble. So I decided to put the lettuce down first. I'm not sure if you've got a particular way that you prefer to assemble your burger, but I'm not sticking them down, I'm just leaving them loose. The idea being that you can just grab a small section of the soap and use that and then work your way through the burger bun rather than having a whole big block of soap. And it's done. We made a burger out of soap. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. It was definitely a new concept for me, but it was lots of fun making it. If you make this, please tag me in your photos at GentooScents on Instagram and let me know what you'd like to see next.